it's Anna here. Welcome in my video for Spellbinders Guest Designer Spot. I am working with a pretty collection called Blooming Garden. It was designed by Marisa Job, and I have all the elements from this collection, but today I will be using this die set. This is called Swirl Happy Birthday Frame, and we have 3 dies in this set. First one is this pretty swirly frame. And if you use only this die, you will get a frame with the full inside. So if you want to have it like a typical frame, you have to use this rectangle die, and you have to use them together, and you will get this this frame. There is also a third die, the die with happy birthday inscription with the swirls, and this is how it all looks together on the card. But I am creating a layout today, so I will be using this and this die only. And I already cut it out some of the frames. I have 4 frames in different pink colors, and I used mint dye papers to cut them out. I have various collections here, so this is not from one collection, and the 6x6 paper pad is just perfect for this die because, as you can see, it fits perfectly. And I have a white background here. I'm going to create a unicorny kind of a layout with pictures of my daughter from her birthday party. And I'm not sure yet how it all turn out later, because I have this idea in my mind, but I'm not sure how it all look together, because I'm going to add some pink to my background using this chalky paint. It has a pink color, so I think it will match my background, but I'm not sure if it won't be too much pink over it, so I will just make the background and then decide if I prefer white or pink one, and I will put you on fast forward. So I just want to warn you that it may end up totally different than it started, so so have it in your mind. Bye. Okay, I am back. I am starting with applying paint over my white background. I am using American Crafts white cardstock. This is my favorite one. And I am applying, and this is a kind of a chalk paint. So it covers background very well, and it dries with this matte finish. And I only have few of those, and I thought that this color will be perfect, but after I applied it, it turned out it's more like a salmon rose color than actual rose color. So I decided to change the background, and I used some other pink acrylic paint. I think it's very old Anita's, maybe. I'm not sure if they even sell those paints, but it's not so thick, so it's easy to spread around the paper. And I'm also using this silicone brush. This is one of my favorite tools because I don't like when you can see the brush strokes over the paint. That's why I am using it. It creates very fun texture, and really it's a great tool to apply gesso over your background if you do a lot of mixed media. After it's dry, I left it to air dry. I didn't use the heat gun because I didn't want my background to wave too much, and as you can see, it's quite flat. And I am applying 3D foam squares beneath my frames because I want to add dimension to my page, and I did it off camera with all the 4 frames. And now it's time to unglue this protective part of the 3D foam square, so it's not easy, especially when I had to cut one bigger foam square into 4 thinner ones, because this frame is really very delicate and has only a few spots when you can adhere your 3D foam squares. And probably I could cut it out many times, glue all the pieces together, and I wouldn't have to add 3D foam, but well, I think it was faster than cutting out so many frames and gluing them together. Okay, so my base composition is ready, and I need to fill 4 frames using different elements to create this consistent layout. One of the frames will be filled with my picture. Second one will be filled with the title, and I have 2 empty ones to be filled with some embellishments. And I pulled out a Dear Lizzie collection. I have some elements from this collection, and I'm going to use the unicorn because it was a unicorn party. This collection is called Stay Colorful. I think it's the newest one collection by Dear Lizzie. I also have ephemera pieces from this collection and puffy stickers. I will also add some flowers and leaves. They are fussy cutted from Minty Papers collection called Lovely Day. And when I will have all the pieces that I want, I will combine all the 4 frames together, connecting them with those pretty flowers I'm just making. They are the rosebuds flowers from the rosebuds die by Marissa Job, and you can create very dimensional rows using those dies, or you can be lazy as like me and create only 2 layer flowers. I am taking the bigger flower and the smaller one, connecting them together using a drop of glue, and yeah, they are ready. So if you are lazy like me, just create a very simple shape of the flower. If you are not lazy and you like to have more dimensional flowers, you can easily create more complex flowers with this die. And after I have all my elements planned, I am starting to gluing things down using a lot of 3D foam squares. So my layouts are all very dimensional, and this is something, if you follow my YouTube channel, you know that I do this every time. I do not create flat projects. Because flat is boring, right? I know it's not good when you have to keep them all into the page protectors and put them into the albums, because when they are bulky, you can only fit like maybe 15 layouts in one album. It's it's going to be a very expensive storage solution when you make very dimensional pages, but I'm storing it different way. Maybe one day I will show you my scrappy room tour if you want to see how it looks. Maybe leave me a comment and I will make some fun video showing you how I store my layouts and other stuff. But let's go back to the layout I am making. I still want my frames to be visible because they are pretty. They create this whimsical, very delicate mood on the page, so I don't want to cover them, but I also want them to be all some kind of connected. I don't want to be all 4 of them separate designs on one background. I want them all to be like a composition. And phew, I had to cut out a piece of the video because it turned out that adding a dimension takes a lot of time. So I just cut it out the part when I'm adding 3D foam squares under every element I have here, so you are not missing anything special and important. It's just a boring part. Sorry for my phone laying down on the desk. This is usually the only time when I have a quiet moment to call my friend or my mom, so I usually make a phone call when I scrapbook. So this is something that sometimes I forget to put down or put under the camera, not beside the camera view. My all elements are glued down and I'm splashing my layouts using layout using Distress Stain Picket Fence Mist. It creates kind of a opaque stains, and it looks really good over the darker background. This is one of my favorite white mists I've ever had. And after I splashed the page, I wanted to add the inner part of the flowers. I am using Nuovo drops, and I will link you the colors in the description box because I do not remember the colors, but I used yellow, pink, and kind of a turquoise one. You could also use brads to create inner parts of the flowers, and I think they will look awesome too, but I don't have a lot of brats. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to check the description box for the details. Bye bye!